Welcome to Good Mythical More. You ever been in a Dollar Tree? Well, there's some stuff that you get quite a steal when compared to getting it at, say, Ralph's or Walmart. We're gonna see if we can explore that. We are gonna explore it.
Well, let's see if we can explore it by exploring it.
Let's see how much money we can save.
But first, I could be saying anything because my mouth is covered up. We're going to give $50 to Lulu because Lulu has been repping that merch out in the wild. Hashtag merchicality. We found you, Lulu.
People love that gorilla shirt sweatshirt, you know?
It's a classic, man. It's a classic.
That's it. That's it. I got the original picture at the Creative House.
Your $50 is in the mail. We're mailing it now.
I slowly burn it like a candle. It smells good.
We should probably talk about that before you start burning
No.
pictures. Because technically my dad owns it because he was the photographer.
Oh, wow.
You know? All right.
I keep all our stuff, man. You know I wouldn't do that.
So you said Dollar Tree, right? Dollar Tree, everything at the Dollar Tree is $1.25? Is that what I was told?
Apparently.
Okay. Link, you lost the main thing, so you get to go first. We'll go back and forth. So you're trying to pick the things that you would want to get at Dollar Tree to actually
Yeah, do you want to
Let's go through
Why
them.
don't you fully explain? We did like a teaser headline, but like
Yes. So we have items that are sold at both the Dollar Tree and at Ralph/Walmart, you know, like regular grocery stores. And you're trying to choose the things that you think will save you the most money if you were to get them at Dollar Tree. So at the end, we'll price them out and see what the difference is.
And we have White Castle, easy to heat, fun to eat. Classic cheese sliders, there's 4 in this thing for $1.25?
4?
Wowzers. Rhett, tell them about this, because I don't know what that is.
It's just it is a brown sugar bubble tea, Lady Boba.
A can of boba?
A can of boba.
Are there actual bobas in the bottom?
I don't know, we have to pop it to find out.
Well, yeah, there has to be, because there's, we gotta find that out.
I'm sure there is.
Okay. Can we have a glass? Next we have Planters sea salt and vinegar peanuts. It's got 1/2 of a peanut on the thing.
Life size.
That's weird. I've never seen that before.
Yeah. Life size peanut.
One little.
I think it's so you can see that the flavoring on it. You see some salt on it. You see some vinegar on it.
All right, what's next, Rhett?
We've got these sweet tart ropes, which, boy, we've had those before, and they are really, really nice.
They are a sleeper hit in the Neil home. Whenever we decide to treat ourselves with some candy, this is the stuff we get. And
you don't get cherry punch, though.
No, we get the rainbow ones. Those are the best ones. But $1.25 for that, not bad at all.
Do you know what you typically pay for that when you go to the grocery store?
I'm not gonna tell you yet.
Huh.
Then we got some Takis Fuego. We know all about that. And then we got some French style green beans. I'm just picking it up a little bit.
Yeah, I appreciate the pace.
And then this right here, y'all know you're excited about this.
Individually wrapped English muffin, Jimmy Dean. I would get the biscuit and not the English muffin if it were me. But
Apparently that you don't get that deal. And Rockstar energy drink, which is still around. Totally dude. All right.
Is that a slogan you remember?
There was that song, Party Like a Rock Star, and then it would be like, Totally Dude.
What part was that?
Party like a rock star, totally dude.
Wow, how did I miss that cultural moment? It sounds like something I should have been awake for.
Somebody tell me who made that song.
Shop Boys.
Shop Boys.
Oh, of course.
Totally dude.
The Shop Boys.
I think because this is such a big box, there's 4 freaking sliders in here, as opposed to this just being 1 slider.
How did you determine that Link's going first?
Because he lost.
Oh, okay. So we're not playing Catch a Fish with Granddad again.
No, we're not.
You?
It's over.
Okay.
It's done.
All right.
We're never doing it again.
Is it because it was like a little awkward when you
I forgot how
tried
to
to
play.
jump back? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
All right, so I'm taking this.
Good choice, I believe that was a good choice.
When's the last time you ate at an actual White Castle?
They're tough to find. Because they're so small. You can drive right by them.
And when you do find it and eat it, it's not good to me. But at home in a box.
It depends on what mood
This
you're
is how it should be. It should not be.
Well, it can be that way every day.
Right?
It can be that way every day. I could have those. Listen.
Turn your home into a castle.
You could bring me koozies. I could bring you White Castle. We could have a little deal.
Hide them all around my house?
Yeah. Put one in your butt crack.
All right, I've chosen this.
Where am I going to save some money?
$1.25.
I think I'm going to save some money on some peanuts.
Nuts are expensive.
You'll pay quite a bit for some nuts because it doubles as a musical instrument. A lot of people don't know that, but I've once played the peanuts for a few nights in Phoenix. I got stuck in Phoenix and had to pay for my gas by playing the nuts with a local.
What else is there to do in
Doobie
Phoenix?
Brothers cover band?
Play with your nuts. I am going to choose the Lady Boba because, that is a fancy package. And I like how Lady Boba has a gray streak in her hair.
Huh, you like that, huh?
That is sexy.
She's speaking your language. She may be in your demographic.
That's right. And you can get away with at least charging $2.50, maybe over $3 for this at any other place because it's around the other stuff. It's not in a Dollar Tree. When it's not in a Dollar Tree,
what are they charging?
You charge more for it.
Right.
When stuff's in a Dollar Tree, it's just first of all, it's $1.25. Second of all, it's you feel like it shouldn't only be $1.25.
Shouldn't.
It's
it shouldn't
the
be
whole
that
environment is very much affordable.
Boy,
I
I made up that memory about me playing the nuts in a Doobie Brothers cover band in Phoenix, but the more I think about it, that would be a pretty cool thing to do.
Feels real.
Yeah. I feel like, because this happens with people.
Listen to my nut shake.
Sometimes killers and criminals in general, people who do bad stuff, they will make up a alternative
let's not
timeline.
lump them all together.
They will make up just some of them. The bad ones will make up an alternative timeline of what actually happened, and then they will believe that's what happened. And so if I
do that all the time.
I start right, well, you do it. Yeah, you do. You're a revisionist history guy. If I start believing that I once spent 3 days in Phoenix in 2004 playing the nuts in a Doobie Brothers cover band, and I talk about it all the time, and I think about it all the time, I believe I can make it a reality for me, and it would be no different than if I had actually done it.
I need a glass.
Well, you see, what was happening was I came into town, and because Phoenix is so hot, my car overheated. And I was driving a car at the time, and my car overheated, and I rolled right into a little mechanic, and I was like, oh, he's like, oh, your radiator's cracked. He said it's going to be $475. We got to replace the whole manifold.
Oh wow!
I don't really know what a manifold is, but I don't.
I bet they didn't have the part.
I don't like to haggle. He says we got to order the part from Tucson.
I bet it's going to take at least
3 days
to get it in, and
I've got no money. But what did I have? A package of nuts.
Right.
And so I went to the nearest watering hole, is what I call a bar, and there were these guys getting up called the Boobie Brothers. It was a Doobie Brothers cover band, but it was all men. But they did a thing where they had low-cut vests, and they all wore little push-up bras to create a little cleavage, because it was a joke. The Boobie Brothers, we're the Boobie Brothers.
Yeah.
Look at our cleavage. And I was like, well, I can do that too. And so I said, hey, fellas, you need a nut player? And they were like, well, actually, we were just talking about that.
See, can you show us how it pushed together?
I've got
you got a little.
I got a little.
Don't show that.
Yeah. That's not a microphone.
What is that?
So anyway, so I played the first night, and I was a little off because I kept thinking they were in 3/4, and they were in 4/4 most of the time. Most of the Boobie Brothers songs, because most of the Doobie Brothers songs are in 4/4.
Right.
So I would be like 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, and they would just look at me like.
Yeah.
By the third night, I was 1, 2, 3, 4, 1.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3,
But then it was too late.
I made $125 every night.
They would tip you individually?
So by the last night, I was at $375. Well, that put me approximately, what did I say the manifold was? 425.
425.
Yeah. $50 short.
Right. At what point did you murder the man pretending to be
I killed
Michael McDonald?
I killed all the Booby Brothers, every one of them. I'll tell you the rest of the story how I made that $50 after I picked my next item.
Isn't it? Oh, it is your turn.
It's still my turn. Blink. Everybody loves Rockstar Energy.
Totally do. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3.
If you're a young musician coming up, try to write a song in 3/4. Mix things up.
Takis, I think ropes are more expensive than Takis. I think this, I'm gonna take this sandwich now. I'm just a sandwich boy today.
So the way I made that extra $50 is I was like, I've been playing these nuts every night, and I've been eating just enough nuts to sustain myself.
You getting weak?
And the Booby Brothers let me
Suckle
the teat, so to speak, which is really just get a water out of the water bottle cooler.
Okay. All right.
So I was watering nuts for 3 days.
And
One nut per hour.
didn't those nuts like really take a beating in that thing?
Well,
I mean, did it become dust?
Nuts are harder than you think. Especially, I look like I'm playing very hard, but I'm actually playing very gentle because I'm giving, but my head moves a lot. And by the third night, I had eaten 1 nut per hour during my waking hours, which was I was awake for about 16 hours a day. So I'd eaten approximately 16 times 3 nuts, whatever that is. Do the math.
Okay.
And I was left with enough nuts and it's funny, the more nuts you take out of your nut shaker, the louder it gets because they travel more distance to hit the other side.
The impact.
So I was actually getting better coming into my groove, but then I was stuck $50 short for the manifold. And I said, I've got approximately 52 nuts left in here. If I sell these nuts for $1 each out on the street.
If you sell what?
If I sell these nuts for $1 each out on the street, I'll have $2 to get home in my freshly made manifold car.
So did you kill them or did they choke on these nuts?
Oh well, that was the method of murder. Yeah. So anyway. I did that. I used my sweet talking out on the streets of Phoenix and sold nuts for $1 a piece. Took quite a lot of coaxing, and I made it out of Phoenix. Quite a story I've got.
Quite a story. True. Is your choice?
It's got to be the ropes. It's got to be the ropes.
There's cream in them there ropes.
Woo!
That's a good rope.
Good rope.
The consistency is so good. I don't know why these are so good.
It's so much better than a Twiz.
I'm gonna stick you with the beans, and I'm gonna go with the Takis. All right, Stevie, let us know.
Okay. Let's see. So
What's the biggest
Link,
And then I'm gonna pour this to see what the boba looks like.
Do it.
you chose the White Castle sliders, 4 sliders.
Mm-hmm.
That's a savings if you were to go to Dollar Tree of $3.61.
That's
Delta?
good.
That's the
big.
Delta of $3.61?
That's real big. I knew
Yeah,
you
yeah.
chose that. You chose the best item.
Yeah.
I was pissed. Did you see it on my face?
The Lady
So
Boba brown sugar bubble tea is a savings of $5.75.
Whoa!
It's
Right.
because, when you see it in the Ralphs, you're just like, wow, this is surrounded by Ralph's things.
I gotta pay. I
Yeah.
gotta pony up for this pricey beverage.
Wow.
The Jimmy Dean's sausage and cheese English muffin is actually only a savings of 31 cents. And then the Takis are a savings of $1.24.
Oh, how could you not have won?
And then Rhett, your nuts, savings of $3.52.
It's pretty good, homie.
Not bad.
Rockstar, $1.24. Sweet Tarts, 23 cents.
$23, you mean?
And green beans, 94 cents. So Rhett, your total savings was $5.93. And Link, almost double at $10.91.
Smart shopper, Link.
Wow.
Smart shopper.
Let's see if there's boba in this thing. Also, over at Sport, I mean, if you're shopping Dollar Tree, if you're going in there, you want to know what to buy. Sport has like ranked beverages, foods,
The best stuff for back to school.
back to school.
There's so many things you can get at the Dollar Tree, and Sport is just, I mean, they're taking that Dollar Tree and they're just picking everything off of it and putting it on sport.com.
This is interesting. Gonna have to.
Can the bubbles get out of there?
I'm doing a.
Are the bubbles getting out?
Not yet.
Do you feel them in there?
Maybe they're all stuck to the bottom.
Oh,
there they are.
I saw one.
There they are. They're plopping.
Oh, yeah.
They're plopping.
There they go.
And look at just like that.
So you're telling me that you're going to pay $6 for one can of that in Ralph's?
Here, I left you a little.
Actually, at Walmart. At Walmart, it's a pack of 4 cans. What? Well, at Walmart it costs more money.
Good gracious.
What's a pack of 4, though?
Brown sugar. Woo!
Oh, through
Now-
Walmart through an outside seller.
181
Selling it
calories.
outside of the Walmart? Yeah, I did about 25 of my nuts outside of the Walmart.
I'm sure you did.
Until they kicked me out, I got 25 nuts deep in the Walmart parking lot.
This is good. I have to recommend going to the Dollar Tree and getting one of these.
Do you know how close the closest White Castle is to us? I found this crazy.
It can't be close because I never have seen it.
Yeah, if it was close, I wouldn't have thought it was crazy.
Right.
Are you
It's probably
telling me,
like Anaheim
Are you telling
or
me there's
something.
not one in California?
Nope.
You got to go to Phoenix?
You got to go to Las Vegas.
Las Vegas.
Yeah, there is one also
So
in Arizona, but I think as the crow flies, Las Vegas is that's crazy.
And they made a whole movie about it.
I guess they closed them down. There definitely used to be some in L.A. The burgers are too small. Nobody wants them.
Salmonella.
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 I'm a sommelier in salmonella.
Get the most out of your local Dollar Tree with Spork's recommendations for best drinks, snacks, and more. Spork.com.